Hey everybody, thanks for clicking on Liz the One TV. I'm your girl Liz the One. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button for your girl. Hit the like button, hit the bell to be notified of my latest greatest videos. But go ahead and subscribe. Our goal in the first few months of this year is to go ahead and hit 5,000 subscribers. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button for your girl. Share the video, but I'm going to hop right into it. So, The Color Purple flopped. I'm sure we all knew this. I didn't even go see it, and I'm not about to go see it. There are a few reasons that this thing flopped. I know that people want to sit up here and blame Taraji P. Henson for it, but let's just be realistic. If she has an underpaid problem, a problem with being underpaid, then that is a legit problem. I know some people, if $20 is missing off their check, they ready to fight everybody. So imagine not being paid what your Hollywood counterparts are being paid. You'd be upset too. But that's not the reason that the movie flopped. Despite her, pointing out that she was being underpaid and, complaining about not having a ride to the movie set, that's not why it flopped. I'm going to tell you why I believe it flopped. Here we go. I believe it flopped because who was ready for a remake? Who was ready for a remake of The Color Purple? Some movies only need to be made once. Let's just be honest with each other. Some movies only need to be made once. And now I do understand that Oprah's, really successful in what she does, but this movie was not something that you could just make into a musical. It was best left on stage in a play when they had the musicals going that way, but it was not best made into a movie. I was not ready for it. I was not ready to, because when you look at the story, and I know I'm sort of rambling a little bit, when you look at the story, Miss Seeley, her stepfather, who she thought was her father her whole life when she was underage, took advantage of her, gave her quite a few babies, and then took them from her. Sold her off into marriage with a man who mistreated her, abused her. Miss Sophia, who was originally Oprah's character in the original Color Purple, told a white lady that she didn't want to work for her and wound up in jail, wound up in prison for a very long time, and then happened to work for the lady anyway. Not just that, it just exploits so much black trauma, like um Mister. In the end, I'm assuming he learned his lesson, but Celie, her children got shipped off to Africa. Miss Suge Avery, she was labeled everything but a child of God, and then to show Celie what love was. There's a lesbian scene in here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just so much. It was so messy, but the movie made sense back then. But I was not ready to see it again. I am just tired of as a Black American. Every time I look up things that we've gone through in the past being put into a movie. And it used to be they used to give you a break in between these things, like maybe every 5 years, every 10 years. Now they just coming back to back to back with it just to get an award, and it's just annoying at this point. I was not looking for a remake, and I found an article to support what I'm trying to say. Um, if you look at theroot.com, there are a few things going on here. They said that there are 3 reasons. The article is titled "Who Black Internet Blames for the Color Purple's Failure Will Surprise You." And these 3 reasons are pretty much aligned with what I'm trying to say. One, we didn't want a remake. The reason why The Color Purple flopped is because nobody wanted a remake. We don't like trauma movies, which is absolutely correct. We are completely over trauma movies. I didn't even go see it. Now, I know some people were happy to go see it. I do like Taraji P. Henson. I love Fantasia. I like a lot of these actors and actresses, and I don't have no problems with Oprah Winfrey. And number 2, we don't want black trauma. You know, there's a TikToker, I can't really pronounce her name, Jokati, voiced similar thoughts in her post. I can't support stories like that anymore. The black trauma constantly being perpetuated by Hollywood is disgusting. The intense racism and dehumanization that was happening in the Reconstruction era, that is not my idea of a good Saturday night. It's really not. It's just really not. Listen, it just seems that the liberals do it to us, the conservatives do it to us. Everybody's gaslighting us about our trauma. Why can't we just have happy go lucky movies or good action flicks like everybody else? Don't get me wrong, it's there. We experience a lot of stuff on day-to-day basis just being black. It's a lot. Now all of a sudden we can't have great movies like everybody else. We have to keep, all of our movies have to just keep being traumatizing and hurtful. We have to keep doing this. And number three, we didn't want a musical. Like I was saying earlier, how do you put a movie like this into a musical? And the answer is you can't. Everything that happened to this little girl, Celie was a little girl who was originally played by Whoopi Goldberg. Um, Everything that happened to this little girl, how do you put this in a musical? Like how is this cute? I'm over it at this point. I'm really over it. Why couldn't we get a different musical? Black people created jazz, but you see white people making movies like Chicago. Why couldn't we get a Chicago about things that we've made? Like, I'm so over this. Like, the black woman has got to be beaten down so much. And, it just seems like the gender war that's already happening on the internet, because it ain't happening nowhere else. The gender war that's only happening on the internet and not happening in real life, it just seems like it got exploited even more, and I'm actually kind of tired of it. They even got a series out called Bass Reeves, not played by a black American but by a black British person, and it just doesn't seem realistic to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just over, like, we know we've gone through it, and we know that, okay, every 5 years we got to be reminded of what we went through. But do we have to keep doing this? Do I have to keep being traumatized every 5 seconds? So for people blaming Taraji P. Henson, please stop. Please stop. Not only is she being underpaid as a black actress, not only is she not being treated fairly, but now we forcing her to play roles to where it's just traumatic. Like, how do you make something like The Color Purple a musical? That's like making the film Glory with Denzel Washington into a fucking musical. And pardon my language, and I know I'm laughing, but I'm thinking about this. Like, certain what movies could you make into musicals? Like, would you make Roots into a musical? And I'm not trying to give anybody any ideas, but it just seems like that they would try. Like, how many movies, black trauma movies, are we going to make into musicals? I'm over it. I am so over it. But that's all I got to say about that. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Help me hit my goal of 5,000 subscribers by March. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Like and share the video. Peace out.